Welcome to Youth Chat BVI. I am your host, Andrea Cox, and our guest today is Damien Williams. We'll be sharing our point of view about politics with you, the BVI people, and we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Trade Winds Radio. It's more than just a radio station. It's a plot. FM 92.3.
Do you have VHS tapes and need them transferred to DVD? Simply call 544-7596, 544-7596 and speak with Andrea.
Welcome back to Youth Chat BVI. Now I would like for my guest, Damien Williams, to introduce himself. Damien?
Hi, I'm Damien Williams, 17, and I'm here to talk about politics today, which is a topic I love personally, so it's great to be here.
Okay, Damien, we can get a bar rolling because we have to get a show started. What do you think politics is in your words, like, as a youth?
Politics to me is basically the way of governance in a country or anywhere. So to me, it's in your culture, it's in your families, in your homes. It's basically a way of life, especially in the BVI.
Okay. So, Damien, do you think that youths from ages 16 and up should be involved in politics? If so, tell us why.
Yeah, I think 16 is a reasonable age because at that age, you're looking to start to learn to drive. You're basically not legal, but somewhat an adult-ish in that kind of stage. So I think being involved in politics would be something somewhat compulsory because that's kind of a basic adult right. I think it should be given at 16 because at 16 you have your own mind. And now we have a lot of teenagers in the community, so I think that's a good age to start looking into politics.
I think it's a good age also because, you know, this generation, we moving fast and we learn like that, like a click. So I think they should like move the voting age to 16 because that's when our minds develop because a new generation and like back in the days, like people, like the young people, like the old people used to know how to slow down and learn things bit by bit. This culture, like they fast.
I would say 16, but you know, there's some, not everyone thinks adult, like there are some immature 16-year-olds, so they could put some kind of rule in place to say after you graduate or after you'll be 16, but you have to have some kind of criteria to graduate. If not, you wait till the other age, 18, down the road.
Okay, I agree with you, and I kind of feel your point that they should like have a rule, right? So, Damien, do you think that the government today is doing a good job for the BVI?
Right now being 17 and looking at what the government in power, just recently elected, is doing for my country, I'm very proud because I see a lot of progress that a lot of things was to be done over the years, and now they're being done. Basically, money is coming in, and we're doing things to help our environment on a whole. So I think right now the government is helping us to move forward because it is the chair we're looking at, and they're basically looking at the young people, and that's like a good place to start. So I think right now the government is doing a good job, not for me alone, but for the BVI on a whole.
Yeah, and I commend them for the good job they've been doing because, you know, they will look out for our country, they will like make sure our country don't run down, and they'll also always will bring revenue into our country.
And in every sector, finance, health, works, you see the road is always being done. People complain about the roads being done, but you can't make everybody happy. And right now, how you expect the roads to be fixed if there's not some kind of cut back or you have to bear with people at the time. Right? Same thing I said before, you can't depend on a government. But if they're doing what they can, you have to give them some kind of lead where you know you have to give them some kind of chance to do and fix what you ask for.
Yeah, because you know it takes time and
money.
And money, yes. So Damien, right? Election is held every 4 years, right? And I don't think that's a long time for the party to get stuff due for the country. So in my opinion, I think they should have elections every 8 years. So what do you think about my idea or my opinion?
Starting with the 4-year thing, it's saying that a country is in power for 4 years and then the election is held. We don't know what state the country is in after that 4 years. So basically put another government in, another party in to fix or continue it's kind of a groundbreaking because, you know, within the first 2 years, they're trying to feel themselves out and see where they are financially and looking at the people. And then there's only basically 2 years to get everything done, which is not enough. So I would propose a 8-year span like the US, not to copy, but to kind of replicate the progress what they have, because within that's a long time to get things done. You have your manifesto from before, which every party has, and then you implement it within the first 4 years, and the next 4 years you just have the ball going, you have new ideas, and then in the term that a party does come in, you have a kind of foundation to go off of, but not just crumbles, you know.
I also think they should give you an 8-year period, because it will give the people enough time to say, okay, I'm going to vote for that party.
Yeah.
It gonna, like, in 4 years, it's like, okay, I have to vote for this party because they're doing work for our community. No, if you get them 8 years, the people get clear understanding and say, okay, I have to vote for this party because they are putting politics, or they are putting progress over politics, and that's a good idea, right? So stay tuned to UChat BVI, and we'll be right back.
Gem Radio 5, The Virgin Islands, 90.9 FM.
Trade Winds Radio. It's more than just a radio station. It's a plot. FM 92.3.
Welcome back to our show. So I will keep the ball rolling with Damien and asking him simple questions about what his thoughts on politics would be. So Damien, I hear you have a youth parliament going on. Tell me your point of view about the youth parliament. Is it good? Is it good? Like,
first off, I was, well, among other students, we were invited to the first sitting, which was at the Eileen Parsons Auditorium. And to me, it was a good experience because you get to see how the children react, as would be to the ministers reacting in the House of Assembly, and they were bringing across certain issues that we are facing right now. And it was kind of refreshing to hear a youth perspective and seeing different point of views where the ministers may not have been or thinking about. So it's kind of not refreshing again, but exciting to see that youths were taking a hand in the youth parliament and that others could join, I learned after. So I think I might stick my hand in it too.
I think this give them a chance to, like, make people know that the youths have a voice and we are smart, and you can't play us for a fool, because when you leave, we have to come in and step into your place. And if we leave a good foundation for us, we can continue that for our children or our great-grandchildren to come.
I agree.
Okay? So I have some junior ministers, right? I think it's a good idea, because you're going to train them, and they have to take the parties, the leaders' position.
I think I heard about that, where I guess the older members in the party, am I correct, if they step down, other ministers or other people in the party will be able to take their place. I think that's a good thing, where you're trading your skills and you're using the same principles and belief of the party to still develop and build, not as a person, but to develop the country. And I think it's a good thing. I think it should be also encouraged and kind of join with the youth parliament.
Yeah, I think so too.
Young ministers, it's kind of a voice for us again to have our hand in politics, not just to have a hand, but to build the country on a whole.
I agree. So since they have the youth parliament and the junior ministers, in my opinion, I think they should, like, get a topic for politics, make politics a subject in school, so the people who want to become politicians can know what they're getting themselves into. So I want you to tell me your opinion about that, and if you think it's a good idea, so they could, like, have that.
Well, when I leave
subject.
high school, I'll be attending the HSCC here for 2 years, and then after my associates, I'll look to doing political science. But I think that right now, politics can be taught in school, not just branching off from, I know, social sciences and social studies, but have its own feel, where those who want to have a hand in politics or want to study and get the basics on it can just literally have it in their curriculum and be passionate about it. And then in college, you have it as a course or something like an after activity, but you still have a general understanding, a general knowledge what's going on, not in your country, but anywhere in the world. So I think politics should be taught in school. We should look into finding people that are suitable, not biased to parties or whatever, but still have that to provide that ground foundation for everybody doing school.
So I continue this story. I was in a computer class this week, like Monday actual thing, and a child was asking us what we want to be, and a young man stood up and said, "I want to be a politician," right? But he also said, "I want to be a politician, but I do not know what it takes to be a politician." So I think in my head, why don't we have a subject that's just about politics? This young man wants to study politics. He wants to lead our country. Why not like put something in place for him or other people?
The thing is, when campaign is going on and all that rallying, youth look up to the people who are running. If they agree with what they are speaking on, we agree to that. So to hear somebody say they're into politics is kind of a bold statement, but at the same time not knowing what it takes, that's kind of heartbreaking, because being a minister should be able to go to the kids and say, if you want to be involved in politics, this is what you should do. In school gives you the basics, but then again, who do we look to if you want to go into that field? And again, we have to look at politics not being just a subject, but it's a part of life, and without politics, there'd be no cohesiveness in society. So it looks like, I think that we should have politics, but again have somebody or people to set it right on what it takes to be a politician.
Yeah, I agree, because when he said that, I smiled, because he said, I want my country to be better for us, for the children. I want us to feel safe in our community. When he said that, I smiled. I was like, wow, he's a very smart man. He feels for our country.
He has passion.
Yeah, for our country, and I respect him for that. So we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Do you have VHS tapes and need them transferred to DVD? Simply call 544-7596, 544-7596, and speak with Andrea.
Radio. It's more than just a radio station. It's a plot. FM 92.3.
The Caribbean Superstation, Virgin Islands 90.9 FM.
Welcome back to the TV show You Chat BVI. I was just speaking to Damien about politics, and we will continue and we'll just wrap up in this session. So Damien, everybody will love this question. Between the NDP and the VIP, who do you think like developed the country more within that space of time while there was in power for the people?
Okay, well, before everybody jumps to conclusion, I was obviously not alive for most of the development of the other party in power, which is the Virgin Islands Party. But being 17 now and seeing the work and progress of the National Democratic Party, I think personally they have done much more with what they promised, and they didn't put their foot in their mouth. They basically told us what they were going to do and did it. And basically fixing, I would say, certain things that were not supposed to be done, and that takes time. So you can't fix and still build at the same time. You have to do one or the other. So it's basically asking the people to give them a chance, and then when they get that fixing out of the way, they implement and they work and they do. And what I have seen is refreshing, and I think that the National Democratic Party, the NDP, is basically the party that does what they promise. Action speaks louder than words, as the campaign said. So I think right now NDP is it for me.
I would say NDP is for me too. Why? Because they want our country to grow. Like, we are in 2016. Right. I don't know why our communication and work minister have to worry about fixing the water running or the sewage. That should be done before this time. Like, get with the program.
Looking at it, it's like 20 years, you know, you're going to have, just like our house may have repairs every time in a year, our country will need repairs every now and again. But saying it that when you elect somebody in power and they promise to do something, we as the people expect them to do
Do
that.
it, yes.
So fix it so that somebody doesn't have to come behind you and clean up your mess. So basically, you can't, people blame the National Democratic Party for taking long or digging up road or this and that. They are working. They are doing what you ask them to do. You just can't see that they are fixing and taking time because somebody else stuck their foot in something else where they should not have and basically didn't fix what you asked to fix. So right now, I wouldn't complain if I saw the roads being fixed. I wouldn't complain if I saw a hospital being built. I wouldn't complain if I saw electricity doing something. Why? Because that's what we asked for.
Yeah.
And basically right now, I am happy with what is being done. And I hope that other people will be happy too.
I hope so too because, you know, it still comes up every time. Why you wait until now to get this done? VIP was in power. They could have got it done. But no, they want to stand up in House of Assembly saying, oh, under this party that didn't get done, but you was once in power too. Yeah, they're fighting, not fighting, but they need to at the same time recognize that it's about the people, not power. So if we ask for something, we expect you to do it. But at the same time, I believe, as I always say, you can't depend on the government for everything. Yeah. So I think working within yourself, your family, and your household, knowing you are straight and good, I think that once you're set, you're fine. But then looking if there's something outside your household, something you can't manage, something your employer can't manage, something your organization can't manage, and you turn to the government because that's their field, their criteria, and they can't help you, that is discouraging. It is. And me and my children will look forward to having that party in power. So I think having a party we can turn to, trusting, and who does what they say is the party to have. But people also need to understand they have to like pitch in because government can't do everything for you. The people have to pitch in. If you want this country to move forward, we the people have to pitch in. We have to help the government. We can't okay, government gonna do this, government gonna do that. Like have a hat and say, okay, I'm gonna help my community and do this for my community. Yeah, I went to Japan last year and going to meeting the emperor and all those kind of stuff. It's like seeing the people, they are somewhat close to themselves because it's Japanese, but still they don't depend on the government for everything. They have their own box, their community, their household, and they don't complain, oh, the water's off, I'm going to go to the government. Oh, this isn't working, I'm going to the government. They group up in societies, they volunteer committees, they do things themselves so that if anything the government only has to do when is in disaster or something that has to do with a bigger project like a hospital, but looking at it, people do things within their communities, and that's what we need to do. We need to strengthen ourselves. And stop picking on government. That's right. Like, come on, we need to stop. So you're tuning to UChat BVI. I am your host, Andrea Cox. My guest was Damien Williams, and we love for you to, like, if you want to make us discuss about any topics, you can call 544-7596. I will write it to the bottom, or it will be placed to the bottom. And thank you for tuning in to UChat BVI. I am your host, Andrea Cox. Until next time.